Have you ever met someone who walks into a room and says nothing? Yet somehow everybody feels them. Their presence speaks louder than voices. Their silence is not empty, it is full, powerful, unshakable. But here's the twist nobody tells you. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. Silence is strength. And in the end, the quiet ones always win. The world celebrates loudness. The world celebrates confidence soaked in noise. The world celebrates the people who talk first, talk fast, talk over, talk endlessly. But the ones who rise the highest, the ones who transform their lives quietly, the ones who shock everyone in the end are the ones nobody sees coming because they're silent. Not because they're scared, not because they're confused, not because they have nothing to say, but because they are observing, they are thinking, they are studying, they are preparing. Silence is their weapon. Silence is their shield. And silence is their superpower. There comes a moment in life, maybe it happened yesterday, maybe it's happening right now, when you look around and realize talking has never solved your problems. Noise has never saved you. Shouting never built anything. But silence teaches you what people really mean when their words fall apart. Silence reveals your instincts. Silence lets you hear your own inner voice, the one you've been drowning out with the world's expectations. Silence is where the truth lives. And when you embrace that, you begin to see things others don't. You begin to hear things others ignore. You begin to understand things others can't even sense. This is when the shift begins. There's a specific day that happens to every quiet person, a day you'll never forget. A moment where you stop explaining, stop defending, stop trying to make people understand you, stop trying to prove your worth to anyone with a louder voice. Maybe it was in your teenage years, maybe in a classroom, maybe at work, maybe in your family. Someone misunderstood you, someone underestimated you, someone dismissed you because you didn't speak loudly enough. And something inside you whispered, I don't need to explain myself to be powerful. Silence becomes your home, not out of fear, but out of mastery. You start to realize people who truly understand you don't need explanations. People who don't understand you won't believe your explanations anyway. You choose peace over proving. You choose patience over performing. You choose silence over unnecessary battles. And that choice changes everything. There was this boy in school, the type everyone ignored. He never raised his hand. He never answered questions loudly. He never forced himself into conversations. They called him shy. They called him awkward. Some even called him slow. But he was none of these things. Every single day he sat quietly, watching, reading, absorbing, thinking. While others talked, he built a world inside his mind. At graduation, when awards were called, that same boy walked to the stage again and again and again. Everyone was shocked. Teachers whispered, who knew he was this brilliant? Students whispered, why didn't he ever talk about it? But he knew the truth. He didn't need to announce what he was becoming. He was becoming it in silence. That boy grew up to understand the power of doing the work quietly. Silence protected him from comparison. Silence protected him from envy. Silence protected him from the noise that distracts others, and life rewarded him for it. Quiet people rise for one simple reason. They don't waste energy on unnecessary noise. When most people are arguing, the quiet ones are thinking. When most people are distracted, the quiet ones are focused. When most people are showing off, the quiet ones are showing up. Silence is not emptiness, it is concentration. Silence is not passiveness, it is preparation. Silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. While others spend their lives trying to be seen, the quiet ones spend their lives trying to understand. And understanding always wins over attention. There was a girl in an office. The type who walked quietly, worked quietly, stayed on her own. People assumed she was average. People assumed she was timid. People assumed she contributed little, but she was watching everything, every mistake, every pattern, every behavior, every opportunity others were too loud to notice. And one day the boss asked everyone a question that would determine who got promoted. Everyone shouted their ideas. She waited, silent, listening. Then finally, when the room was done talking, she spoke softly, calmly, concisely. And for the first time, everyone went quiet, because she didn't just have an idea, she had the idea, the solution no one else saw. She didn't push for the promotion, but the promotion came to her, because silence is not about hiding. Silence is about watching long enough to strike at the perfect moment. The quiet ones are dangerous for one reason. You never know what they are thinking, but they always know what you're thinking. They read intentions, they read energy, they read people. They understand without being told. They sense without being shown. They observe without announcing. Silence sharpens intuition. Silence strengthens judgment. Silence protects your mind from manipulation. The quiet ones don't reveal their next move. They don't announce their plans, they don't broadcast their dreams, and that makes them unpredictable, unshakable, untouchable. The most dangerous person in any room is the one who listens more than they speak. Something beautiful happens when you live in silence long enough. You begin to see the difference between noise and knowledge, attention and respect, talking and communicating, being heard and being understood. You stop craving validation. You stop chasing approval. You stop performing for acceptance. You start moving differently. You start thinking differently. You start choosing differently. Your silence becomes a filter. It protects you from draining conversations. It protects you from people who don't deserve access to you. It protects you from giving your energy to the wrong places. Silence builds inner stability. Silence builds discipline. Silence builds identity. And identity is the foundation of every success story. And if you want to know the next step in mastering your inner world, watch the next video. It will change the way you see yourself forever.